Okay, so T1 sucks. It's way over 290 HP. I don't feel like dealing with it right now. For for tier one Stone Hive, I'm just like it's too much HP. It's too much bullshit. I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm not gonna deal with it. That's simple. All right. Mainly the reason why I started recording is because I wanted to go over some like old like basic training stuff that happened with basic training. This is basically around when I found out that I had asthma and all this other stuff. Uh, so basically the gist of it is, I'll start with like the whole moment where I found it, like because like there was always bits and pieces of incidents where like I felt like something was seriously wrong, but I couldn't figure out what it was. So it would start like these little little mini panic attacks here and there. And this is why I don't like when people are like, oh, I have anxiety. It's like, yeah, everybody has anxiety, you fucking retard. That's a basic human function. When you don't know about what's causing X thing and you can't figure out what it is and etc., what do? You freak the fuck out initially. So what do you got to do? You got to rein that shit in. That's what I always try to do. I would fail sometimes, but I would try to rein it in because anxiety is fucking annoying. It's stupid and I hate it. Like I don't like dealing with it. It's fucking dumb. So when I started having like little panic attacks or I started freaking out about something, because I didn't like in that case it was asthma. Like once I figured out like what it was and how to deal with it and how to keep it rein it in and stuff like that, that basically stopped all my panic attacks afterwards. So and so on and so forth. Well, mine is like the general like depression shit with like being like cheated on and also their crap, but like that's neither here or there. That's not like a basic function of anxiety. It's just like a whole bunch of other bullshit I dealt with in relationships, and like it spiraled some shit, and I dealt with that for a while, and I bounced back from that. That's all crap. I don't really want to go fucking go over because it's dumb. But with basic training, basically this defining moment was there was this dude. Sadly, I forgot what his name was, and I probably should pretty sure he probably wouldn't appreciate me mention name dropping him or whatever. But like there was this dude, and like this one time when we were assembling outside the bay or whatever, we're doing formation, and as we're forming up, and I was at Fort Benning at the time. As we're forming up, this fucking guy, like he looked like pure shit. I think this was after we had our what was like that Sunday where we had like that pizza party thing where we can like order a bunch of pizza and like a bunch of there was like a thing with like a bunch of snacks and stuff. And of course, me and a couple other retards, we like overdid it. Like I remember I got pretty sick the next day. Thankfully, I was in the back of the platoon formation, so I just like when I started like getting close to throwing up, I turned around, had the guy move out of the way real quick that was right behind me, and I just puked to the plants behind me. And like I thought it was good, but it seems like I just had like a bit too much pizza, a bit too much snacks, and it did not mix well in my system. So I puked that all out a little bit, and someone else puked too, and it was not a good time. Or maybe I didn't puke. I think I did though, because I remember being like really sick. I probably got close to it. Like I don't remember it verbatim, but he was basing that same aspect. Like he started getting really sick afterwards. Like he had like this really really ridiculous fever. Like he looked like complete hell, man. Like I felt so fucking bad for the guy. And during that whole process of feeling like shit for this dude, because like I did not enjoy seeing him looking like that. That was bad. Like I was hoping he was gonna get better soon and all this other stuff. But during that whole process, um, for some reason I started having trouble breathing, and I couldn't figure out why. So in the middle of not being able to figure out why and like what the fuck is going on, of course, cue in the general panic attack, chain of reaction type of thing. And so I started going with that. I started having more problems breathing. My chest was hurting like a motherfucker. I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was. Uh, our platoon leader was asking me like, "Yo, you good?" And like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is. And for some reason, it's hard to breathe. I'm just trying to control my breathing as best I can, and it sucks right now. So I'm like kind of freaking out, kind of, and like in the process of not being able to breathe, trying to rein it in. Of course, I'm tearing up. I'm like having like really bad chest pain, snot coming out my nose, the typical trifecta of dealing with a panic attack. And so after a while, drill sergeant's like, okay, let's do the sick call. Let's see what the hell's up. It's probably just like anxiety, because like that's the whole thing that's always been every time like I had like a little incident. It's always like, oh man, Mr. Anxiety. Let's see what's up with him. And so they just write it off like anxiety and nothing else, like which I can't entirely blame them. But So while I'm waiting on to go to sick call, it takes like a good while. Of course, he ends up getting sent over first, which obviously he should. Like, dude's running a massive fucking fever. He's probably like in like almost like brain cell melting temperatures, probably at this point with how red that guy is. And the whole time while we're waiting there, he's like all talking shit to me. He's all like, "Oh, you're just faking it, and you're just doing shit for attention and blah blah." Blah. It's like, dude, I don't do that crap. Like, I don't freak out for the sake of freaking out. Like, if something's wrong, something's wrong. You know how I am, dude. You know I keep even when I'm crying like a bitch, I keep going. So because no wait, was the crying like a bitch during a march as I kept going? Because that was plates. I think that was after the fact. Oh well, fuck this expedition then. Tell me I got 15 minutes. Fuck you. All right. Besides the point. Um. So I think the plates. No, the plates were way later. When we had plates in our thing, I had them probably a little bit way too tight, and I was crying like a bitch because of that. Cause my chest was hurting because of that. While marching, I think that was like yeah, that was way later. This is still like kind of like early on, like middle of basic training. It's like blue phase or whatever. Um, no wait, isn't it red, white, and blue? No, so it's probably white phase. I almost forgot about white phase. I only remember like red phase and blue phase. I don't remember much about white phase. So I think this was white phase, and so like we're kind of like middle in, just like a little bit after red phase, and this is about roughly because like it was like roughly towards the end is when like about halfway through towards the end is when I found out I had it. So this whole incident occurs. He's talking shit to me. I'm just sitting there like, dude, just focus on you. I'm gonna focus on me. Just leave me the fuck alone. Like I just want to see what the fuck this is. Let me just go to sick call, figure out what possibly might be wrong with me, and so I can move the fuck on. That's all I care about. That's like my entire mentality at this point of this whole basic training like incident. It's like just let me figure this shit out. Leave me the fuck alone until then. Don't fucking sit there and try and start shit with me. Go focus on getting better. Because unlike your dickhead ass, I actually care about you getting better. Fucking asshole. But, like I cannot understand it because like when you're feeling like that much like shit, you're gonna like kind of be a grumpy piece of ass and like fucking take shit out on people. But still, like I'm not here wishing ill will on you and shit, and like trying to like fucking oh I gotta pretend like something's wrong with me too because this guy is sick. And like who fucking does that? I know there's people that do that shit, but like who fucking does that? So that whole thing's done. By the time I finally get to the sick call thing and I finally get seen and examined and whatnot, it's already been like nearly close to 2 hours at this point. So they mentioned how like everything's good and all this other stuff, and they're not entirely sure what might be wrong. I'm like, yeah, because and I told them it's like, yeah, because it's been like fucking 2 hours. I'm pretty sure most people having a panic attack would be good after 2 hours of sitting around doing nothing. So like after mentioning that, they're like, okay, let's see, because like they did do I think they did some breathing tests. I can't remember what they were though. It was like some initial stuff, and they said, okay, like well, from what we're testing so far, it seems like something might be off, but it seems like you're mostly good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a PFT test, a performance functions test, and after a bit, we'll just have you go there. And I've had to redo this test. What was it? I think 3 times or 2 times. I had to redo it a couple times because what ended up happening was the original clinic guy who set me up for it, um he was telling he would do his little recommendation letter thing, send it over. They do their thing, and they supposedly would send it back to him, but he would never get the results. Like both times, he never got the results from the hospital at Fort Benning. And so I'm like, "What the fuck you mean we got to do it again?" And he's like, "Oh, we got to do it again." And so, of course, after like third time's the charm or second time's the charm, I forgot how many times I had to redo this shit. Like it was like a whole like 2 3 week process where it's just going there, getting it done, going back, and my drill sergeant was like you gotta do this again, and yeah, because they keep fucking it up. These fucking assholes, they keep fucking it up. And my drill sergeant's at the PFT was me trying to skip out on PT. Like, oh, you're trying to get off on PT test, huh? And I'm like, no, that's not the reason. The reason is PFT. So I explained what it is, and like it's called performance functions test. It's to test my lungs under stress and stuff like that, and duress and all that other stuff to see how they function, and that's the purpose of it. And so they're like, oh, the zeros. I was like, oh, okay, I thought you were trying to like be like get out of stuff. And like Joe said, you see me cry like a bitch every single time and keep pushing forward. Like, why would I try to get out of PT now? Like that's what I do. I may cry like a bitch, but I'm gonna keep going. But so we did it. So they got the did that, and the results came back as like I basically was borderline full asthmatic. I wasn't like quite there. So at the time, like the only knowledge on that kind of asthma was like it's just stress induced asthma. It's just I gotta take it easy. I can't overstress myself, physically and all this other stuff. And so the orders at the time was just like take it easy, do the bare minimum, just get through basic, and then just get sent home and just go get discharged, that kind of thing. And then of course my dumbass, um, I didn't want to deal with possibly the whole process being elongated by, because like we were basically like I think like by the time I finally got diagnosed with this shit, we were about maybe like 2 or 3 weeks out of finishing basic training, and so I never did like the 12-mile march or any of that shit because of it, because of doctor's orders and all this other stuff. And so we're like 3 weeks out. I'm like, this might elongate me and make me have to stay there longer. So I figured I'd just wait, hold on to the paperwork, and then give it to my sergeant back at the National Guard place in Miami. And my dumbass thinking that would work out well, it didn't work out well because by the time I got back there and got to hand it over to him, because like this was like months later because we only work 1 week in a month, and so by the time I was able to finally give the shit to him, by the time I've accumulated so much sweat in that fucking uniform, the paperwork was so soggy you couldn't even read it, sadly. And I didn't make backups like a dumb fuck like that I was. And because I didn't turn it in originally at basic training, it wasn't on the basic training record either. So they thought I was possibly making stuff up to like possibly get out. So the civilian working at the time was like asking me all these questions like, do you want to get married? And at the time, like I wanted nothing to do with people. So I was like, no, I don't want to get married. And she was asking me all these other questions and I answered her as honestly as possible. And I'm like, and then she sits there and tells me that I'm lying. And I'm like, dude, that just fucking cut me, man. Because like, there's one thing I don't fucking do is I don't fucking lie. I tell the truth and nothing but the truth, regardless of how much it hurts or whatever the fuck, or it gets me hated, etc., etc. And she fucking just sat there and just told me I was lying when I was being truthful, and like that just the fact that she believed that shit. It's just like fucking this bitch, dude. She really thinks I'm gonna sit here and fucking lie about this. Fucking like I just felt destroyed. Like how do you sit there and you be honest with somebody and they're like, oh no, you're lying. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? So I was gonna like demoralized, just like destroyed because like they weren't gonna believe anything I fucking told them at that point. And I'm just like, whatever fucking discharge you can get me, just give me it. Like I just want to get out. I know I'm dead weight at this point. There's no point in me trying to continue because I'm not gonna get any better. And like they try to point out like, oh, you're doing better on your PT scores and stuff. Like, yeah, because I'm making myself worse in the process to do that. You fuckface. Well, what do you think happens when you keep pushing yourself when you're not supposed to be pushing yourself? Why do you think when I got back and we did like a fucking 2 mile run, my time was like infinitely worse than it was when I was at basic training? Because I'm at the point where I can't do what I was doing at that point. Because it was getting worse and worse. And I was done with it. I'm just like, dude, I'm dead weight. Like I can't do what I'm supposed to do. I couldn't even fireman carry the fucking midgets in our platoon. I mean our battalion. Not our battalion, our company, sorry. Well, actually, it was a platoon because they were still in first platoon, so it wasn't our platoon. So like we had these two guys, um, and they were pretty tiny. They're like fucking 4 foot something, like 5 foot something, like really really tiny dudes. And so I couldn't even fireman carry those guys without basically falling over after not being able to like maintain the fucking being able to like breathe. Like I couldn't like keep myself. The fuck is the word I'm looking for? But like basically, I would run out of breath about halfway through where I was supposed to sprint them to with the fireman carry. And then, like once I wasn't able to do that, that's when I knew I was done. There's no way I can continue a military career not being able to carry some fucking 4 foot dudes. Like that was over. That was when it was over for me. I knew that's someone I knew I needed to get out because if someone were to get shot and I couldn't fucking carry them to safety due to that shit, like that would just ruin me mentally, man. I would not be able to live with myself. So I decided, yep, that's time. Let's wrap this up. Let's just fucking get me out when I can, and I don't care what kind of discharge I get, because like my mentality at the point was like, okay, it's bad, but maybe I should be able to do civilian work despite that. And no, because then it turns out I also had Tiesta syndrome and didn't know about it. So basically, my left side of my rib cage was the coastal cartilages in my rib cage were fucking inflamed to no end. Um, and I tried to remedy that with like diet and all this other stuff, and just nothing was fixing it. Like I've had like really bad Tietze syndrome for like fucking years. Like it was at the point where I was gonna have to like get like that specialized like treatment thing where they inject some steroid shit into like certain points along where it's at, and then that would calm it down over time. But like I never got around to doing that because I had to like call someone who actually specializes in that shit, set up an appointment that way, and then get it all set up that way, and then I can of course pay for it. And I just wasn't in the mood to deal with that. We were like barely keeping the roof over our head at the time, and I just didn't want to incur any more medical expenses and shit like that on top of what we're already dealing with. So that was the whole thing in that regard. And so yeah, I get discharged. I go and I try to work at Vivid around like 2016, and then found out my test is still bad because like I was still having really bad chest pain and shit. I couldn't really focus on doing the job. So I told him like, look, I'm gonna have to like resign because like I can't do this. Like medically speaking, like I thought I was good, but I need to take a breather for a couple, like maybe a couple of years or two. Like I need to focus on this, get it under control, get better, and then I can go from there because I could not focus on work. The chest pain was way too sharp, way too painful. I couldn't do what I needed to do. And they were like, "Oh, but like, could you just do like part time?" Then I'm like, "No, because it's within the first 2 hours of working. It does this, and I'm not gonna work for 2 hours a day every day for like whatever pay. Like, I'd rather just get food stamps, buy my food that way, and then just focus on getting better. And then when I can work is when I can work. And of course, over time it never really got better because my diet was like complete garbage because I had to like eat like cheap ass shit be solely because like we are feeding like fucking six people off of one paycheck um and all this other stuff, and it's just not a good time. So I made do, and then eventually went homeless the second time. And the second time I went up going in a shelter because I just didn't want to deal with just sitting in a fucking motel room and just living like that. So I was like, no, I need to go to the shelter. I need to fucking like do something because I can't deal with this crap anymore. I've dealt with this for like 20 plus years. I'm done with it. I want to do something different for a change. So, and of course, with it being a shelter and me not being able to store food and stuff, I have to go and like actually drink water. So I'm basically forced to be healthier at this point. So with drinking water and stuff, I was getting better, and then over time, after getting better, I started working again, and the chest pain and stuff was still pretty bad at times, but I could manage it. Like it was only like one day where like it got bad, where instead of like every single day it was being bad. So I started managing it. My gout started acting up, and so I'd have to like limp back into like my desk after coming back from lunch and whatnot because I go to Wendy's real quick, grab something to eat, come back, um, and then I'd be like limping to my desk and shit because the gout would just act up in that time frame of walking there and back and all this other stuff. So yeah, that's basically been the summary of that. But I think there was more I wanted to go on with basic training besides just the whole like asthma thing. No, it was mainly that. It was just like there was other incidents too. Like the very first time was when we first got around there and we got like our PT clothes and we started doing PT. We were doing like push-ups in the gravel or whatever, and like during that, I started like not having breathing problems. I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was. Started having like a little panic attack, and during that, get all tearful, just a little snot coming out of your nose. And so that's when the drill sergeants originally started calling. Well, one of them started calling me that. It was the ex-marine guy. He was the one calling me like booger and shit. And so he's like, "Booger, get over here, Private Booger," and all this other stuff. And then yeah, there was that incident. Then it was the plates. when we got our plates and we had we put our plates in and marked with our plates to get used to the feel of them and stuff. Or like, I think we didn't really have to, but I just did it anyways. But I think what another dumb thing I did was I kind of had them a bit too tight maybe, and that was fucking with my breathing as well. Because there was like one time we were doing our marching, and I would just like I basically start crying like a bitch and whatnot, start tearing up, and there people would ask me if it was good because they kind of knew like this was like a recurring thing for me when it got to being where I was pushing too hard, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Like I'll cry like a bitch, but we'll get through it, and then I'll just chill at the end, and I'll be all right. Like it's not gonna kill me, but it's kind of killing me, kind of thing. But it's just like whatever, just let me be a little bitch right now. We'll get through it. And then there was like another march where before the plates, I also started having the same thing happen because it was a pretty long march for that one. And drill sergeants would, one of them or two of them would fall behind, start giving you shit as you're moving like a little bitch. But like the whole thing is just to get you to keep going. Don't like you can slow down or whatever, but just don't fucking stop. Don't ever stop because you're just a sitting duck at that point. Just keep going, keep pushing, that kind of thing. And that's always been my mentality, anyways. It doesn't matter how much I'm hurting, how much I'm crying like a bitch. I'm gonna keep going. But with my medical conditions, that was not a good idea. So there's that. But yeah, no. So we had that incident. And like during the doctor's orders, I wasn't allowed to like carry my rucksack per se. No, my rucksack I think was fine. I think anything after that wasn't a good thing. And what ended up happening was someone had their locker broken into because they didn't lock it properly or some shit happened. And because of that, Joe was like, okay, you guys clearly can't take care of your shit with the things we provide you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take your entire locker, we're gonna put it in your duffel bag, and you're gonna carry your locker with you 24/7. Everywhere you go, that locker's with you now. So now we don't have to hear about reports of fucking someone stealing your shit, which I don't blame them. Like if that's a good way to like that's if there's a way to get someone to fucking take care of their shit better, that'll do it. Make them carry it everywhere, and they'll get sick of carrying it. And they'll take care of it properly. Because like I remember this, dude. Oh my god, there was one time I thought I lost my wallet. Oh my fucking god, dude! I felt like such a piece of shit. Like I never like I fucking like broke down and shit because like I was like 18, 19 at the time. I like fucking broke down and shit because I never lose anything. Like I'm always everything I put down is where I have it. I'm clear, concise. I never put things in different spots. I always put them in the same spot every single time. So I was looking in the spot that I had it in, and I didn't see it. I didn't find it. I'm like, dude, where the fuck is my wallet? What did I do? So like, it's like when you have that much like consistency and order in what you do with things, and then just all of a sudden it's just not there. Like it hits you a lot harder than what it would most people. Because most people are like, man, I probably put it somewhere else or whatever. Because I always do that shit. But like me, that like doesn't. I don't do that. So like, like over here freaking the fuck out. Like, dude, I lost my fucking wallet, man. My ID's in that shit. My money's in that shit. My bank cards in that shit. My social, dude. I was losing it. I was not okay. And then sure enough, I checked like a slightly different spot, and I don't know how I didn't see it initially. I think it was like, oh, because it was under something or whatever. So I checked like a slightly different spot, and there it is. There's my fucking wallet. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man? I acted like a little bitch for nothing. Oh my god, that was. So I went over and apologized to my battle buddy. And I'm like, dude, like such a dumbass. But like he understood it. It's like it's understandable. Like that shit's like important and stuff. And it's like, he didn't give me too much shit for it, which is fine. And then there was like one time where my bad buddy got caught with chewing tobacco. Like he wasn't supposed to chew it and stuff like that. So he was chewing it. He got caught with it, and we both had to like do push-ups and shit because of it. Battle boy system. And he was apologizing to me the whole time. I'm like, dude, I'm not really worried about it because like it wasn't really like a grave offense. Like you weren't doing something completely fucking stupid. You were doing something stupid, yes, but like in comparison to shit. Okay, so this is basically the apply context to the whole scenario. Why I didn't really fucking care because he got us in trouble for the chewing tobacco stuff, right? To me, that's a minor offense. The shit I was doing on Sundays, I was going into like where you're not supposed to go, like where the people who actually earn the whole pizza trips and whatnot. I would go into like the pizza parts of like the marketplace or what the fuck it's called. God, what the fuck is that shit called? the mini mart, like the little mini mart area. Was it like Pemdex? No, it's not Pemdex. What the fuck is it called? It's been so fucking long. But it's on Sand Hill. Like you go up Sand Hill where my battalion was at. You walk up there. There's like the PX or something like that. It's like called PX or something. And you go there. And there's like this big old PX place. It has like a little like kind of like mini Walmart on the left side. It's like a bunch of like arcades and bullshit in the middle of the aisle. And then towards the back is like this little pizza area. And I would pretend to go to church, quote unquote, because they let us go on our own. We didn't have to be like chaperoned and babysat like other battalions and platoons and shit had to be, and companies and whatnot. And so I go there, I make it look like I'm there. Then I go into the PX. It's literally right around the corner. Like I just go around the corner and just go right from where the Mormon church is at because my parents are Mormon. So I'm like, oh hey, I'm gonna go to the Mormon church. What are they gonna do? Like verify if I'm actually Mormon or not? Because I don't fucking go to church. Yeah, I haven't gone to church in like a long ass fucking time, and I don't plan on ever going again. But I'm like, oh, I'll go to the Mormon one. So I originally I was doing that just to get away from the Bay Area for a while and just be part of church and whatnot. And I'm like, I realized like halfway through, I'm like, dude, I'm sick of this Mormon bullshit. Like I'm done with this. I can't deal with like the music and also the crap. And I'm just like, I'm not a religious person, man. Let me just stop being here. Let me stop wasting your time with my fucking presence. So I'm like, okay, so I'd go to the PX on the right. I go get some pizza. Then there's another PX, like a little, like smaller one that has like snacks and shit. And that one's easier to deal with stuff because like you're not dealing with a bunch of drill sergeants being there, monitoring what you're buying and stuff. And there was like one time, like I stupidly almost got caught because I was buying stuff in like the mart and the main PX, and I thought you always had to get your stuff checked out no matter what by a drill sergeant to make sure it's like a legit that you bought it and like what it is. So me not supposed to be there, going up to a random drill sergeant trying to get my shit inspected when that drill sergeant has nothing to fucking do with me. God, that was so fucking stupid. I'm so glad someone pointed out how dumb I was fucking being. It was like, get the fuck over here. I think it was, yeah, I think I know who it was. I remember who it was, but I'm not gonna drop names. But he's like singling. He's like, dude, get the fuck over here. What the fuck are you doing? And I was like, it's like, what do you mean? Like I thought we had to like get our shit checked. And he's like, no, dude, we're not supposed to be. Like the drill sergeant's gonna realize you're not part of his fucking like company or whatever, and he's gonna fucking be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And so yeah, there was that shit. And like the shit I never got caught with that I should have got caught with is a way graver offense than what O'Brien. I'm sorry, Battle Buddy did. And so like I'm like, dude, if like I got caught doing the shit I was doing, dude, you'd be way worse off than what we are right now. So honestly, this is just karma at the point getting me back because like I should have been caught and I never was. And but I wasn't sneaking things back in the base. See, like the thing is, the problem is like a lot of these dumbasses were doing. They were sneaking shit back. Me, I just buy a bunch of shit just to eat it on the spot. That's what I was doing. I just wanted some snacks real quick, and I ate some snacks, and that was it. And then I had my fill of that for the week. And it was funny because like every time I would eat like a Pop Tart or something, dude, I just felt like complete shit. I'm like eating a Pop Tart. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. Why am I eating this shit? Eat some fig Newtons. Like, why? Why did I miss this so much? Just I like feeling like complete dog shit eating this stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, what am I doing, man? The only thing that wasn't the case was the pizza. The pizza was always good. So I was like, I'm just gonna stick to eating nothing but pizza. I go get some pizzas, feel rewarded for the week, and we move on to the next week. Even though I wasn't supposed to do that. But yeah, no. That's why I told him like, dude, like this is nothing in comparison to shit I was doing and not getting caught for. So just don't feel bad about it, please. That to me it's just my just desserts. I deserve that. I deserve at least some push-ups for what I was doing. Because I was fucking around, but I never found out. And in other cases, like other people were fucking around and they were finding out. Like we had one guy sneaking snacks in the bay, and of course he got caught. And they found that he had a shit ton of candy and stuff that he was trying to sell out to people in his locker. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, why? You told like it was the same guy who was signaling at me to like, what the fuck am I doing when I get caught? So the same dude has a bunch of shit in his locker, and so this guy know if he ever sees this video somehow, so he knows that I'm talking about him specifically. It's the same motherfucker who was giving me shit in chow hall for the way I was chewing. Now he knows who the fuck he is. This motherfucker, I'm sitting there just eating my fucking meal, just doing what I'm doing, ignoring, like, being by myself. And this fucker's like looking at me intently, like, chew with your mouth closed. I'm like, bitch, I am chewing with my mouth closed. You just don't like how I'm chewing. Just fuck off and just eat your damn food and shut the fuck up. Like that shit was driving me insane, dude. I like wanted to like throw my fucking fork at that piece of shit. Like who the fuck cares about how someone chews their goddamn food? Like why the fuck are you paying attention to that? Just eat your goddamn food and shut the fuck up. Like shouldn't that be your priority right now? Not worrying about what the fuck I'm doing? But no, that's just how he was. Like I don't know, something was wrong with that dude. And so the same guy that I'm like ranting about, he gets caught with all that candy and shit in his locker. They fucking take all that shit, put it all on the floor, and you see like this giant mound of candy. I'm just sitting like, why, dude? Why are you this fucking retarded? And I was just standing there in disbelief. I'm like, dude, how are you this fucking stupid, man? Of course they're gonna figure out that you were doing that. Oh my fucking god. So of course he gets reprimanded for it. I think his battle buddy does as well, and they start getting stricter on certain things. They start inspecting your camelbacks and all this other stuff when you come back in now. And I was already not sneaking shit in, so to me that was nothing. And I was like, dude, you're like because of this fucking dumbass dude, he put us all at risk of being chaperoned from then on out when it came to going to church. And I was like, God, this fucking retard, man, fucking retard. Like I wanted the whole like I wanted everyone in the platoon to just jump his ass for that shit, dude. There's stupid shit there's stupid shit that I was doing that if it get caught, it's on me. That's the kind of stupid shit I do, where I only put myself into risk of doing stupid shit. But like it's bad to do that because like as a whole that can put other people in danger by default. Like it's the principle, and that's why they Article 15 you and stuff like that for doing shit like that because like it's the principle. You don't want to endanger yourself because you can endanger others, and so it's like an entire principle lesson. And so like I took it serious but not kind of serious at the same time because like there's only so much of that whole nuance you can be like serious about 24 fucking 7, especially when they know you know the shit you're doing is not affecting anybody else, it's only affecting you. That's the that shit I kind of try to do well as a basic training. So if I got caught, it was on me, no one else. But then be like, oh, but he wasn't keeping an eye on you, he wasn't aware of what you were doing and all this other stuff, and so therefore it's his fault too. And they can use it like that, and that's perfectly fine, that kind of thing. Which you're supposed to keep an eye on your battle buddy, you're supposed to know what they're doing, etc., etc. Know where they are at all times. They're basically like your wife. You're basically like fucking domestic partners at that point. That's your homie. You gotta look out for them. They gotta look out for you. That kind of thing. And yeah, so there was that. And then there's this other guy. Now this guy I'll name drop because this guy's a piece of shit. He doesn't deserve any fucking privacy. Metcalf, motherfucking Metcalf. So this dude gets his arm broken. Decides, hey, you know what's a good idea? I should sell the medication that I'm getting for my arm being broken. So his arm broken. He sells out the medication. Gets caught. Gets reprimanded. He then goes, what if I break into the MRE storage, take MREs, and then try to sell those? Gets caught. Gets reprimanded. So, of course, that wasn't enough. What if I put a blank in my M16 and shoot it off in the bay? What if I do that? So, of course, due to that, we had to take all the fucking M16, the little cases, the little things, the little racks, the weapon racks. We had to take the weapon racks, bring them all downstairs with the M16s in them and stored. Bring them into the bay, not the bay. What is it called? Not the patio. I mean, it technically is a patio. I'm just trying what the fuck we actually called it. What was the military term we called it? Uh, I'm just gonna call it the patio. The patio below the bay. So we had to bring it out in the open patio below the base, like 2, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and we had to keep all the weapons down there in the racks around him, and I think we had to put through like whole platoons had to watch him. We had to bring whole platoons down and circle him while he sat in a chair for like I think like an hour or two at a time. I forgot the exact time points. But yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure a lot of us wanted to kill him on the spot. for the shit he was doing. So of course he gets, Article 15. He gets dishonorably discharged for all the bullshit he pulled, and so on and so forth. But it's just like the fact that we had to go through all that bullshit because he's fucking dumbass, and like it's like he wasn't even in my platoon. That's what pissed me off even more. I'm like, why am I suffering because this dipshit from a different platoon isn't in my platoon doing this shit? Like, why do I gotta pay the price for it? Like, what the fuck? Fuck this guy. Like, wanted to grab one of the M16s out of the rack and just fucking rifle butt his ass in the face. Like, I was so done with his ass, man. And so that was all said and done with it. And then we had this other guy. I mean, he's kind of a piece of shit. Do I give him the same kind of treatment? Whatever. I'll respect his privacy for right now, because like his is more of like he's just a fucking whiny emo bitch. Okay, so what whiny emo bitch does is whiny emo bitch. He fucking breaks into the civilian room to get a civilian bag for whatever reason. I guess to get his phone because his little bitch can't handle not having his phone. You know, can't be a real fucking man and just deal with 2 months of not having technology. Dude, that's what boggled my mind. It's like, dude, I played video games for my entire life, pretty much. I had like little to no friends, only a couple that I hang out with every so often. And my whole life was just video gaming and computers. I went through 2 months without a computer or a phone just fucking fine. And he may tell me that you had to break into the civilian fucking bag room to get your fucking phone, you little bitch. What is wrong with you? So of course, not only did he break in and get his phone, he snuck in some other phones out for some other people so they could charge their phone and like talk to people or whatnot and use their cellular service and shit. And so of course someone got caught charging their phone because dumbasses don't realize that the drill sergeants come in to check the bay and they do a quick little sweep every so often, see what's on the fucking cords and what's on the sockets and everything. Of course, what do you know? Some shit's plugged in. Oh, what's plugged in? What we should have nothing plugged in at this point because we have no technology whatsoever. So it's like, okay, oh, so this guy's got some plugged in. All right, let's do a little investigation, figure out what the fuck who they got this from, and see what we can nail down. So they found out that he was the culprit that broke in and got everybody all this shit. So what does he do when he gets found out and he's gonna get dishonorably discharged for this shit? He takes a bunch of Tylenol and tries to kill himself. Like, instead of manning the fuck up to his dumbass decision and just dealing with the consequences of his actions, this dude tries to kill himself so like people can feel sorry for him or something. Like this is just beyond fucking pathetic. And like I just have no respect for this guy. And honestly, to be fair, I hope after like all this time, because it's been like 20 something years since then. I'm 37. I joined when I was like 18. I hope in that 20-year span, the dude manned the fuck up and he learned some accountability for once in his life. I don't have hope, but I hope I'm right. And then he manned the fuck up. He actually turned his life around and he's better off now. Because yeah, I was fucking pathetic. That was beyond fucking pathetic what that fucker did. I had no respect for that shit. I just called him whiny bitch the whole fucking time. Like, yeah, you little whiny bitch. Like, I was fucking hurting physically and shit, but I'm not gonna sit there and try to fucking kill myself because, oh man, I made a dumbass decision. I don't want to deal with the consequences. I'm gonna drink some Tylenol. I'm gonna eat some Tylenol, drink Tylenol, whatever the fuck it is, and I'm gonna die. Why you little bitch? Fuck that guy. Fucking piece of shit. I hate anyone with that fucking kind of weak ass mentality. Fuck all of you. Fucking emo fucks. So there's that. And no, the other guy was like a really big fat guy. Like he wasn't really a problem, but it's just like we always made fun of him being fat. And then like drill sergeants would go and make him go to the salad fucking line, eat his fucking salad. And like I don't get how that guy was in basic training for fucking 2 months. I don't think that guy lost a single pound. Whereas we had this other guy. Oh man, this dude had a heat stroke. This poor dude. Um, we had this other guy where he went to basic training. I think he started out, what was it? He started at like what, 220, 240? Like he was kind of like chunky, but not like the other guy. Like other guy was like fucking fat. So we had like a little chunky dude, and he went down in that weight by like at least I think it was like 60 or so pounds. Like this dude lost a lot of weight in basic training. I'm like, God damn, dude. In my case, I gained weight. I was like 118, 120 when I joined. I came out 160. So I put on weight. He lost weight. And like most of us were like an average around like 160 plus for the due to muscle mass and also stuff that we built up over time. And I it couldn't like it boggled my mind. Like, how does this dude get forced to eat salads and shit? Like, he had to be sneaking in some snacks or something because like there's no way this dude was eating what they were forcing him to eat and didn't lose weight. There's no fucking way that was possible. So yeah, that guy never lost weight. I don't know. He didn't graduate. I don't think. Yeah, no, he was one of the failures. Like there was like a handful of us because I mainly failed because I couldn't. I got disqualified on push-ups in the last PT test, and I think you get a failure if you get a chicken wing on the hand grenade throwing. Like I just barely fucked up the hand grenade throwing back a little bit when I was throwing the grenade, so I got chicken wing. I got disqualified from that. Then I got disqualified from push-ups as well because like I was kind of doing the rest position. My forehead touched the dirt a little bit, and I went to go immediately correct that. And as I was immediately correcting it, the drill sergeant thought I was like resting my head in the dirt, so he disqualified me for like illegally using the rest position, like I wasn't using it as I was supposed to, type of thing. And I just didn't want to argue with him because that wasn't what I was doing. And I'm like, whatever, I'll just take the fucking disqualification. I'm not in the mood for this shit, man. I'm just not in the mood for this shit. I'm not gonna argue with this guy over this stupid ass decision. So we'll just take the fucking L, just move the fuck on, and I'm gonna get out anyway, so I don't really care. Like, cause like that was after I found out about the asthma stuff. Like, I still wanted to keep going, keep pushing, and like do better and stuff. But like at that point, when I know I'm just gonna get out and get discharged anyway, I'm just like, I don't fucking care anymore. Like, whatever. Let me get disqualified. Don't give a fuck. Uh, and what were some other stories? Oh yeah, my friend, my friend Jeffrey. Uh, he fucking we enlisted together, and so he went into a sadly like knew we were both going to Fort Benning, and we thought we'd end up being in the same battalion. Sadly, he was in a different battalion, but he was like literally right across from where we were. So every so often he'd be on guard and duty, and he'd just be like, around the corner, and like I just like go slightly up the hill and talk to him. So we talk every so often, catch up, like, yo, how you doing on your end, man? He'd be like, just bullshit, talk about stuff, and so on and so forth. Um, he basically we're doing I think he was like zeroing or something, like we're doing one of our target practice ranges. This is like one of the ranges where if you're done shooting you go into the back uh behind the targets, and there's like this little place you sit at, and you sit under there while you wait for people to get done zeroing and whatnot, or doing their target practice. I forgot what we were doing at the time. No, I think it was normal practice, and just because like I just viewed it as zeroing because I didn't zero for like the longest time. I sucked at zeroing for whatever reason it was, and because it was sight picture based, and I didn't realize I was fucking up my sight picture until like I got to like the fourth or fifth time I was doing my zeroing, like why I was fucking up my sight picture because they weren't telling me why I was fucking it up. There's like sight picture, sight picture. I'm like, fuck you mean sight picture? What am I doing wrong? And so what I figured out was I was like flinching and not realizing it. Like it didn't feel like I was flinching, but I was flinching when I was squeezing the trigger. And then when I finally saw what I was doing, I'm like, what the fuck? So I held that shit super tight, squeezed the trigger slowly, and then boom, I stopped flinching and I got a zero. I'm like, are you serious? Like that little bit of flinching is what I was doing, and I didn't realize it. Fucking goddamn it, man! Wasted all that time, all that fucking ammo, when all I had to do was just hold the shit tighter and just not lightly flinch like I was doing. That shit pissed me off. I was mad at myself, man. Like, are you serious? And then, of course, when I stopped doing that little bit of flinching, I zeroed nearly perfectly the first time. So there's that. And oh yeah, I was going in the story about Jeffrey. Sorry about that. Oh, so Jeffrey, he was sitting in the back of that target thing that I was talking about, where you sit back and wait. And he was one of the few people that brought his plates this time. Like he was wearing his plates on him, and luckily he did because for some reason a ricochet hit off the top of the metal of the fucking the target. So it hit. It was like one of the targets in the very back, like right above where they are. So it ricocheted off that, hit another piece off something else. I forgot what it was. Bounced back behind the wood thing, bounced off of that, and hit him in the back plate and shattered his back plate. I'm like, dude, how the fuck? Like, what kind of Final Destination shit were you having going on there? So, luckily for him, yeah, he had a back plate for that. And then when he was deployed, he also got shot in the helmet, which thankfully, blocked the shot. But like he was a gunner, and he was like just like machine gunning, looking around. And as he was scouting and perusing the like who to lay suppressing fire on, all he feels is in the back of the head, just the big old flap. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And so he's like, "What the fuck?" He gets down real quick to see what the fuck that was. Like he goes back into like the little tank thing or whatever, the armored vehicle that he's like gunning for, and they're like seeing like what the fuck him. He's like, "Dude, I got hit in the back. I got hit in the back. Like I don't know what the fuck it was, but I got hit in the back and it was really hard." So it's probably like a sniper or some shit. And that's like the second time he got shot and survived it. And then he ended up having a back pain and stuff. But like it's good that he's doing well. But like that was like the one story that revolved around Jeffrey and what happened to him at basic. And then so he went to the dude to try to kill himself, like a moron. Oh yeah. Okay, so one of the short guys I was mentioning that I couldn't fireman carry with my asthma and whatnot. One of the little dudes, uh, we had like this little like retractable shovel thing, like you can basically put it together and like make it really tiny and stuff. It's like a little portable shovel. So he like deploys it, and he's like, in his infinite wisdom, he's like starts like play like kind of like sizing up a trunk to like swing the shovel at it. And I'm like looking at him like, dude, that shovel's tiny as fuck. That shit is gonna ricochet off that tree, man. That is not a good idea. And sure enough, swings it, boom, comes back, hits him in the back of the head, and this dude's concussed now. Completely concussed. And so I'm over here. This is when we're doing field navigation too. Like we're out in the field like 3 days or whatever. Got to sleep and shit out in the woods. We got little sleeping bags. We got little rucksacks we can sleep against and whatnot. And so first, I think it was about one of our first nights there. And so I'm like about ready to go to sleep. Drill sergeant calls me up. It's like, Rob, no, get over here. You gotta babysit him. And I'm like, what? So they had me make sure this guy stays awake, doesn't fall asleep and stuff until medics arrive. And so I'm just sitting there chilling, just keeping an eye on him, and like trying to keep conversation with him. I'm like, dude, like just do what you can to stay awake. Just focus on something. Like, don't fall asleep on me, man. Because I don't want to like have to like physically start shaking this man until he's conscious and stuff. Because like I didn't want to deal with that. Like I want to go to sleep, man. Just let me sleep. It had nothing to do with this. But it's just like, they just wanted me to do something, I guess, because I wasn't really doing anything. Because like due to my words, I wasn't doing all that much. So, like, fuck it, let's give him some responsibility. That's pretty much what it was. Like, I wasn't like too mad about it, but like I'd see him like, I just want to sleep. Just let me sleep, please, please, just let me sleep, man. And so yeah, there was that whole incident. And the gas chamber thing where I basically didn't have my gas mask on most of the time, not all the time, until I was literally told to put it on. They wouldn't let us out of the room because like I was just taking it. I was like, I don't feel anything with this shit. And I got like a little cough here and there, and I'm like, dude, this is nothing. This is a joke. And drill sergeant's like, okay, until private so and so puts his gas mask on, you guys aren't coming out. And the amount of death stares I got when he said that shit, I'm like, yep, okay, fine, fine, fine. It's like one thing because like it's one thing I don't mind like fucking myself over to like do this shit. This is also before I found out that I had the asthma stuff. I forgot this like the gas chamber was like way before that so whole thing. But so I go and put my gas mask on, and I'm like, fine, fine, whatever. If you're gonna hold us hostage because of it, I will do what I'm supposed to do instead of fucking around like I was doing. So I put it on. We do the whole thing, say our social, blah blah blah. I think there was some other shit we had to recite. I forgot what it was. It's been fucking forever, and I never really cared for that. Like the whole Creed thing, I hated reciting that shit. I'm like, I only memorized it just to get through with it when I needed to recite it, and that was it. Like I fucking hated having to recite that shit. That shit was so dumb. Like I understand why, but just fucking oh my god, man. Just fuck that thing. Just fuck that thing. So we had to go recite some other shit, and then they opened the door, let us out. And when we go out, we had to go out with a one arm. So you fucking pussies nowadays, you don't even have to hold your rifle anymore when you go out of the gas chamber. You just hold your gas mask, you little bitches. When we did it in Fort Benning in fucking '07, we had to fucking hold a rifle with one arm straight up. We couldn't let it bend. We couldn't bend our elbows or anything. Sorry, I attacked myself. I'm dumb. We couldn't bend our elbows or anything. We had our gas mask completely out in the other hand, and you had to keep your like elbows basically locked, and you had to keep your arms straight. You couldn't dip them. You couldn't do anything like that. You had to go down this snake way path, keeping your arms straight the whole time until you get to the log and you can go sit down, or around that log area. There's like a bunch of those spots you can sit down at. So I go and I do it, come out just fine. I finally didn't start feeling like the effects until I got to the log, and that's when I started kind of like tearing up and started like and had a little bit of snot and whatnot. That's when I started feeling it. But until then, I didn't feel shit. And so like I'm sitting there, I'm like watching videos lately of like how people do the gas chamber now. And like, I'm sitting like, where the fuck is their rifle? Where the fuck is they aren't even holding? What the fuck is they aren't even holding anything? Are you fucking kidding? Like I wanted to like fucking get on the case of the drill. So I was like, what are you making these pussies do? Give them some fucking rifles in their goddamn hands. Oh my god, dude! Like they didn't have to hold their fucking rifles. That boggled my fucking mind. Like, what is this easy mode pussy shit? Tell me you have to fucking hold your rifle when you do the gas chamber. What the fuck? What kind of bitch shit is that? And like the whole like me doing that shit in the gas chamber probably could have also contributed to like me getting the kind of asthma I did too. Because like I was fucking around a lot. I probably shouldn't have done that. But there's no way to know for sure. So like I just was fine with the whole being like a no fault thing. Like I could have been something I had never knew about. It could have been something that might have been aggravated due to basic training. There's no way to prove it other yay or nay. So like I didn't want to deal with that whole like bullshit like possibly proving oh it's because your guys' fault. I had no ill will against the military at this point. I just like dude I can't do it. I'm physically not capable. Let me just get out, please. That was my mentality. Like let me just get out. I wanted to do the thing. I can't do the thing. It sucks. Let me out. That's just what it was. And is there any more basic training stories besides like minor incidents? Oh, I mean, there's only like the processing thing. Like when I was doing processing and we had a drill sergeant. Fucking, we had this tiny like we had the little short guys. We had a drill sergeant that was tinier than those guys. And dude, this guy scared the shit out of me when I first saw him because I didn't see him before until this point. And so what ended up happening was something was up with my foot. My foot was hurting really, really fucking bad. And so it was like my shoulder and shit and whatnot. And I was letting like the people that were handling processing at the time know what was going on. And they're like, "Oh, it's just probably like just pain because you're not used to the weight that you're carrying and stuff like that." And but it felt like my foot was swelling up even more. And I'm like, dude, something's like really bad with my fucking foot, dude. It fucking hurts. And then my feet don't do this shit. So it turns out what ended up being the case was since I don't wear I've never wore like precise size shoes to like my feet size. I've always worn something that's like slightly bigger as a whole. And it turns out my right foot is smaller. Is it smaller? Yeah, it's smaller than my left foot. And I think they measure by your right foot. So my left foot was swollen like a motherfucker because my left foot's bigger than my right foot by like a whole shoe size. They was like my right foot's like a 6 and my left foot's like a 7. And they didn't know that, and I didn't know that. So I'm over here, my foot's swollen. I go to sick call. They're like, "Oh yeah, your boots are just too tight. That's all it is. You get your boots remeasured." So I had to go get my boots remeasured, get my new size boots, for their size 7 instead of size 6, and then go from there. But until then, I had to be on bed rest to make sure the swelling went down, so I could actually put the damn boots on and not be in massive pain. Because I was limping everywhere, man. They had to give me like crutches and shit just to like keep myself from like hurting my foot at first. And I got tired of fucking using the crutches. So I'm like, can I just like go on bed rest for like just deal with the swelling that way? I'm like tired of these fucking crutches. This is not helping. Just let me just go on bed rest for like a little bit. So they put me on bed rest. And as I was swelling down, of course, what comes up? Us getting shipped out of processing into our battalions, and if I went through with the full bed rest, I was gonna miss out on that. I'd have to do processing again for another week. And I'm like, dude, I'm not sitting here for another fucking week doing fuck all. I can't do it. Like, it was driving me crazy. Another fucking week of like doing paperwork that I'm not gonna be doing. I'm just gonna be sitting there. I'm like, dude, no, no, no. I came here to do basic. Let's do some fucking basic. So I limped my fucking ass on that bus and I went with my fucking the people I was supposed to go with. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit, man. I'm not dealing with this shit. Because I wanted to let it rest, but like it was pretty much healed at that point. And so I just dealt with like giving it some more like I used my pillow to like elevate my foot a bit more while I was in the bay for a few days, starting out basic training after we got shark attacked and all that stuff and whatnot. Like, dude, the shark attacks were actually kind of fucking hilarious. I like the shark attacks. That was fucking fun. Like just getting yelled at and then like, oh, get your fucking thing, go up to here, go up to there, and like they're just like giving you shit for like no reason. It's just like I just toned it all out. It's like, okay, I only pitched in, I only tuned into what I needed to listen to, which is what I needed to do, what they're ordering me to do, and then I turned out like all the insults and shit. Whatever insults they were throwing at me, like whatever, that shit don't matter. Well, okay, whatever I need to go. Okay, go take my bag, go up the hill. Okay, come back down the hill, go up the hill, back down the hill, up the hill. Okay, I'm fucking tired as fuck. Oh, I tripped over myself, and then that was when it was done. And then it's like I don't really care. Like there's people that like make a big deal about that shit, but it's like, dude, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to make it look like it's gonna be hell, and like you need to do what you need to do, or they're gonna fucking make life hell for you. That's how it's supposed to be. That's basic, man. That's basic. That's basic, baby. That's basic. Oh man, Fort Benning was so fun. I love that shit. Rappelling was also fun. I love rappelling. We got to rappel off that big ass tower. I don't think it was the air. No, it wasn't the airborne tower. It was like one of the other bigger towers. And we got to do that big ass rappel tower. And like you see like people like fucking being like lip little dick fuckers trying to get down on that shit and start it up. Me like once I said I was good to go, immediately got back down in position. I was having a great old time. Like, yeah, woohoo! And just bouncing off that shit like Mario. I'm like, oh man, I love the fucking rappelling. Like, dude, no, don't get me wrong. Like, if there's a good enough distance of a drop and I look down, I'm gonna get a little queasy. Like, I'm not for that shit. But as long as I'm not looking at it, I'm good. Just don't like the whole like it's like the whole like don't look down things. Like just don't look at it. It doesn't exist. Don't think about the fall. Think about just like where you're at right now. You're looking at the fucking tower wall. You're rappelling off it. You're letting slack in, so you slide down, grab it quick, lock yourself back in place. When you're good to go. But me, now I was just like, like try not to go too crazy because I didn't want to freak out the drill sergeants or anything. But I was having a fucking blast, dude. I was having a good old time. I was like, wee, wee. Everyone else is like quivering and shit, like thinking about like what could go wrong. Like, dude, like, we're not tying like because like when my friend Phil, he had to go in the military. This is like back in like '03 and stuff. You had to tie your own harness and shit. Like you had to make sure that shit was tight. You had to lock it in yourself and then you go down. No, they already had it like already locked in for us. I was already tied. I was already set up. We just put the harness on, lock it into the fucking thing, and just slide down. We had it easy when I was in. So that's mostly why I wasn't really thinking about it. But like if I had to tie that shit myself, I would not have faith in that. Not. I'd be like, I don't even know my time this that time, man. I'd be over here like, oh man, please don't break, please don't break, don't come undone, don't come undone. That would have been like made it like way worse. But since I didn't have to tie it, dude, I was like, I don't care. Let's just have some fun. Woo! Rappelling was fun as fuck. And then we had to like do like the different obstacle courses. Like the one I didn't like was like when we had to like slide, like do that like that clay, like we had just like a little slide thing. And it's like full of like wet clay or whatever, like Georgia clay. And dude, that shit stained my fucking ACUs for so fucking long, man. Like I had, like it didn't matter how much I washed that shit, how much I fucking like I threw them shits in like 2 or 3 times. No, you just still see like the doo doo clay stains on the bottom of like the pant legs and shit, the little cuffs or whatnot. And I'm like, dude, I fucking hate this clay, man. This clay sucks. But I also bought cheap ass detergent too. I was a cheap lazy fuck, man. I'm like, I'm gonna get the cheapest shit. I'm gonna throw it in there. If it comes out mostly clean, it's mostly clean. As long as it's not like dirty in places where it matters. Like if it's dirty by the boot line, I just hide it in the boots and then just call it a day. That was like my mentality on that. And also, like I could never do the triangle bullshit with making your bed. Dude, I could never make my bed. What I did was I cheese it. I had someone else help me with it real quick until I finally got the triangles down because I could never do it on my own. I don't know why. Like my hand-eye coordination sucked dick when it came to making these perfect triangles. I could not do it. I like sucked complete ass at it, and I could never figure it out. So when I finally got it mostly right with the help of my battle buddy, I'd be like, okay, that's good enough. I do a little little hospital corners and whatnot, tuck it all in, and I would just sleep on top of that. I didn't want to disturb it. I would try to keep it as like intact as humanly possible. I'd only sleep on top of it, the top of the sheets and whatnot, the top of the cover, and then I after in the morning, what I do is I just get off the top of the cover, fix up the corners real quick so it makes like I redid my bed, tuck them back in, and then just rinse repeat until it got to the point where I couldn't salvage that anymore, and I had to actually redo them. That was my whole process. Like, dude, I'm not doing this shit every single fucking morning because I can't. I just couldn't do it. Like I don't know, it was hand-eye coordination. Like I wasn't understanding exactly how to do it, but I just couldn't do it. It was fucking stupid. It was pissing me off. And I'm like, how can I do all these other things precisely and effortlessly? And you mean to tell me I can't make a fucking triangle over my goddamn hand and tuck the shit in? Like, dude, it was driving me up the fucking wall. How fucking worthless I felt at the time. Not being able to do hospital corners. Oh, and like the other thing was, um, I hated the fucking dude. The underwear they issue you is fucking ridiculous. That shit has dug into my fucking skin so many goddamn times. Like I hated those fucking tidy whities so much. I'm like, dude, just give me some boxers, please, man. Like, just give me some fucking boxers. Like, give me some room to breathe. It was like the one sass like the one thing that I liked about like the PT shorts is because you didn't need to wear underwear with them. They had like that little netting and shit, which just like acts as like a casing. So like you don't have to worry about wearing shit under that in case like you had I mean, you kind of did 'cause if you had like plumber's crack or whatever, like there'll still be plumber's crack in your butthole, still show like things were pulled down a bit. But other than that, like it was perfect. I wish I could have just wore the PT shorts like all day, every day, because I didn't have to wear those fucking tight ass, just horrible underwear. Man, that shit was disgusting. Hated that shit. I'm used to like having boxers on. I'm used to being comfortable. I'm used to like wearing something where I can just do whatever and like I don't have to worry about it because it stretches. Those things don't stretch. They constrict. They don't stretch. They constrict. They fucking cut off blood flow. Oh my god, I hate this thing so much. Fuck that underwear. Um, no, just like the foot thing. Oh, and the little drill sergeant. I forgot that I mentioned that he scared the shit out of me. I completely forgot to go about the tangent. So basically, what happened when he scared the shit out of me? This is in ties to the whole my foot swelling. I completely forgot to go over this part of the whole thing. Um, so I go and I get my medication that I was supposed to take for it. I'm like, okay. I'm saying like, what do I do with this? Because like, there's one part that gives you the medication, and then you have to go do another thing to store the medication. I didn't know that, so I'm like thinking like, if I'm not supposed to have this on me, aren't they supposed to just like take it and put it somewhere else, and I just come get it later? I was like, I'm sitting there like confused as fuck. I'm like, how does this work? So they don't tell me anything. They just send me on my way, give me my medication, and like, you fuck go. Like that. So I'm like, I'm just sitting there with my hands. There's no drill sergeants around. I'm like, okay, I'll take it to the Bay Area. So like, of course, I have like a bunch of shit in my arms. Like I kind of like have both my arms like entangled with each other, trying to hold all this shit together so I don't drop any of it. And I'm not able to look down. So I'm like walking. I'm walking. I'm going through. I'm walking almost in the Bay Area, and all I hear is like right below me, "The fuck you doing, private?" And I'm looking down. This tiny ass dude with a drill sergeant fucking hat, and I'm like, oh, drill sergeant, to see him. My bad, type of thing. Like I'm like, sorry, like drill sergeant didn't see you, drill sergeant, and like not saying sorry because if you say sorry, they're gonna make you do push-ups. So you gotta kick that Canadian bullshit out of your system. It's like don't ever say sorry. Just be like drill sergeant didn't see you, drill sergeant, that kind of thing. And he was like, you take that shit and you go back. And I'm like, it's like, and I just like at that point, I'm like, yes, drill sergeant. And so I go back and I asked him like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Cause I just got yelled at by a drill sergeant, man. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing to me? But like, this dude was tiny as fuck. But like, I didn't want to mess with him either way. I'm like, dude, if he's that tiny and he's still in the military, I'm not having any part of that, man. I want nothing to do with that dude. He'll fucking probably rip my ankles off, beat me with them or some shit. Looking like a little chihuahua, just nibble at him. That dude scared the fuck out of me because I was not expecting it whatsoever. But the advantage to that was what I got away with one time when I realized it was him in the bay checking the beds and stuff. I'm like, it's gonna be too short to see. So what I did was I put myself as close to in the center as possible, didn't move, act like I was like made it seem like I was out of the bunk, and then I got to sleep like an extra couple hours one of those days while everyone else like got up. And thankfully, no one snitched on me. I was hoping I was worried someone was gonna snitch on me, but it turns out what ended up happening was no one realized I was still sleeping. Like, dude, I didn't even notice you were still there. I'm like, yeah, I wanted my sleep, man. I wasn't gonna fucking get up. Fuck that guy. That's what he gets for being small. I should have got a step ladder, you little bitch ass. Oh my god, dude. Like, I don't know why no one else took advantage of that, man. They should have realized it was his little ass in there, and they should have just kept sleeping. Like, what is it? What's he gonna do? Unless like he climbs up there. Oh my god, dude! He fucking climbed up one of the bunks and saw someone still sleeping. Oh my fucking! That shit would have been hilarious. Even though it probably would have been me, but still, I'm like, dude, I'm not getting up. Fuck that. And so yeah, so there was like that whole thing. Trying cause like I'm trying to keep this video just straight to like basic training stories. I'm just like kind of because like usually I spread them out over time across like multiple videos and shit. But I kind of wanted to like consolidate it to like one video. Just so you'd be like, that's the basic training story video. Um, fuck. What else was there? Was there anything else? No, there was just mainly those things. I didn't do the 12-mile march. I think I was like the guy who was like I stood at the end or whatever, and I was like as people came in for like the final bout, and I was like my job was like I forgot what the fuck that was called, but like I had to just basically sit there and like just make sure they're all good and stuff when they came in. I think it came in like water or some shit. I forgot what the fuck I did. And of course, people coming in from 12 miles and marching, and then there's my ass not doing anything because of medical orders. So they're all like giving me shit passively aggressively stuff. Like, look a limp dick over here. I'm like, yep, that's me. Little limpy dick, broke dick. I'm all brokey dick. My dick don't work. Oh man, but I don't understandable. Like, oh no, okay, this other incident. Okay, so the whole like locker thing where we had to put our lockers in our bags. I was on the asthma order still, and so I couldn't carry my duffel bag with me at all times because I would have to carry it on the back and on my front. I was doing that for a bit, but then like another incident occurred, and that's when they told me to stop doing that because I was talking to my drill sergeant about it, and he's like, dude, it's like, are you good? And that's when I finally told them about like the whole thing with the PFT test results, um, and whatnot. And I told them I had the paperwork back in the bay, and they're like, okay, if they told you to not do anything, then why the fuck are you doing it? Something like he was like about to smack this shit at me, and I don't blame him because I'm being a fucking idiot at that point. And so, they told me, okay, no more doing the duffel bag thing, and they made the guy who I mentioned that lost a lot of weight. He carried my duffel bag of locker stuff and his duffel bag of locker stuff at the same time, plus his rucksack. And I was always apologizing to the guy, dude. I'm like, I'm sorry, I had to do it, but the drill sergeant told me to stop doing what I was doing, and it sucks that you had to, pick up, deal with that all because I'm not allowed to carry my own shit, and I just felt like shit about it because like I would do it, I put up with it, but I was told not to, and so he goes, don't worry about it, dude. I needed that. I needed to lose more weight, and that was the perfect opportunity to lose more weight. He saw that shit as an opportunity. He's like, that's a good way for me to bulk up, lose some weight, build some muscle mass. Like I was whatever. I was cool with it. I'm like, good. I'm glad at least it went to somebody that didn't really care too much. But I still feel horrible that like he had to go and do that on my behalf to a degree. And then, oh yeah, the naked night. The naked night when I was crawling under barbed wire and shit with the fucking tracer rounds and real rounds and shit going over you about like 2 to 3 feet. I lost my elbow pad and my knee pad somehow. Didn't realize it as I was crawling through. And so I go over and I get up. Well, like towards the end, like I was so fucking exhausted trying to crawl normally and trying to do the knee thing. I got to the point where I just wanted to get up and stand. And of course, they yelled at me for that. Like, don't do that. A principal thing and whatnot, even though I was technically basically safe at that point. They're like, no, 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 get your ass down. Get your ass down. And I'm like, okay, fine, fine. This sucks, but I'll do it. And I'm like, just like collapsing and shit. Like I was beat. And because I think the Nick and Knight's pretty early on too. I'm trying to remember like the timelines of like all this different stuff that happened, and like when was it before the PFT test and when was it after? Like it's kind of all jumbled in my memory at this point. And so there was that. I lost both my knee and elbow pad, and when it came time to turning in our equipment, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to pay for a knee and elbow pad. And sure enough, miraculously, the dude that had my locker full of like duffel bag stuff for like the week or two that we had to do that for. Thankfully, he found a spare of both, and I got to turn those in instead. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, dude, you're a lifesaver, man, because I did not want to pay for that shit. And then my helmet, they were giving me shit about like one of the pads weren't being like cleaned enough or whatever. Like the Velcro wasn't clean fully. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So what I did was, um, no, no, because there was a tags. There was a way for them to ID which helmet was issued to you and stuff, so you couldn't just turn in another helmet. I don't think. So what I did was I just cleaned it more thoroughly, like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, please, for the love of God, let this be this last time I have to clean this fucking thing. Let me just turn it in, please. I want to be done with this. I'm fucking tired of this shit. So thankfully, that was third time's a charm. I got it all cleaned out the way they would accept it. They took it in. I'm like, fucking Christ, good. Fuck that shit. Because I was not paying a fucking $500, $700 for something that probably cost them like $20. Fucking assholes. Is there anything tied to the naked night thing? No, it's just losing my pads. Oh no, my knee got infected because of that. Like I scraped my knee and my elbow, and then my knee got infected a little bit. It was hurting like hell. I had to get some antibiotics for it, and that was good. It wasn't too big of a deal. No, but I really enjoyed basic. The food there was good too, like chow hall where it's at. And the MREs are pretty alright. Like everyone makes fun of the MREs and shit, but the MREs are alright. There's only the omelet. You never want to get that omelet. Dude, that shit was disgusting. That omelet was fucking terrible. Terrible ass omelet. And I read that the people who get it, they try to pass it around. Like, they don't want that shit. Get that shit out of here. They try to trade it for something else. No, I think we had one guy. We had one guy that was the omelet guy. We had like one dude in the entire like company. If you got like the shitty omelet, you give that shit to him. He was the one guy. It was like it was like, hey, you want this? And like it's like the omelet, like he like whatever he got, he would trade for it. And then like it's like everyone trying to rush over to him real quick, like when they got the shitty omelet, and they'd be like, "Yo, can I get this instead? Can I get that instead?" Fucking Mr. Omelet, because that was like the one shitty MRE. Like there were some that were kind of like meh and weren't that great, but majority of them like they were pretty alright. Like I could eat those things forever. Like I could just eat them. But Chow Hall was way better, man. When we had like ribs and shit in Chow Hall, oh my god, damn, damn that shit was good. Like that was like the only reason why I wanted. Like if I ever was able to like prolong basic training, it'd only be for that reason, just to get more chow food. Because that was way better than the fucking microwave shit I was eating fucking daily, day in, day out before I got shipped over there. Yeah, think about that about covers. This was like what, like an hour long, an hour 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and me just jumbling back and forth between like different parts of different stories. I thought I would keep them consolidated, but like I realized that like, dude, I like jumped in here parts here and there. Oh, this is a minor one, but like what we're doing like the one where you climb up the ropes and you tap the big pole thing, like the big rope climbing thing, to get used to rope climbing. Um, they would tell us, "Oh, don't slide down the rope because you get rope burn." But the reason why you get rope burn is because you're holding it tight or slightly tight the entire time while you're going down the rope. So what you have to do to not get rope burn is you have to like let your grip go, but not completely, and only like let your hand guide down the rope as you're going down, while your legs and stuff are mostly keeping you in place. So I did that, and I slid all the way down. And Joe's Hart is like, "Let me see your hands." I'm like, "My hands are fine." Like I know the technique. Like I know how to tech it, and so that's all. So that way I didn't have to go down slow because like the way they wanted you to do normally prevent rope burn was that you get to let go a little bit, and like shimmy it down a little bit. I didn't want to deal with that. I'm like, why do that when I can just do it the fast way and then not deal with rope burn and then not waste my fucking time? So of course, just and then boom, no rope burn, no nothing. I was good to go. But like climbing it was kind of annoying because like initially I was trying to use my arms to climb, and I'm like, no, this is not working well. And then once I figured out how to use my legs and like a little bit of my arms, that's when I was like powering through that shit. I was like, clap, 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 clap. Just I'm like going up that shit like a little monkey. Like people like looking at me like, what the fuck? Like how is this weak ass little asthma bitch? Oh no, this I think it was before the asthma thing, before realizing what I had. And it's like, how's this weak ass little bitch who can't even fucking do a couple push ups just powering through this fucking rope thing? And we're over here struggling. And a lot of people couldn't understand about me, like why I couldn't do push ups, but like certain other things I was doing just fine. Like sit ups, oh, I could power through sit ups. Fucking have me do some sit ups. I did like fucking 60 plus in 2 minutes, no problem. But we had guys that were like doing push-ups just fine, but they could not do a sit-up worth a damn. And made no sense. I'm like, dude, how are you struggling to sit up right now? Like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's over here shaking and shit, like trying to like get him his elbows past his knees. And I'm like, dude, how? How is this so hard for you? I don't know if it's because like his build, like it's because like his torso is too long or something. Like, it's like a build thing? So I'm like average size. Like, I'm trying to figure out in my head like what's making this guy struggle so much with doing a sit up when they're so fucking easy. I mean, what I thought when most of the problem is because like what people do with sit-ups is they end up using energy to try to hold themselves up and don't let themselves fall back completely. And I don't do that. I go boom all the way back, up all the way back. I kind of use like the landing all the way back and letting myself fall back as a way to boost myself back up, so I don't have to put as much energy into um or exertion and stuff like that into bringing myself back up. That's how I do it. I use it as like a bounce pad and just boom 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 and just rebound off that shit. That's how I was doing it. And so I thought most people were doing that, but I realized like most people would like they go down slow. I'm like, why are you going out slow, dude? You're wasting fucking energy doing that. You're holding yourself up. You're like, they're no, like let yourself fall, dude. It's not gonna hurt your back that much. Just fall back, boom, and then just lightly do it. Like once you feel like your back hits it, just spring yourself back up. Go all the way down, spring yourself back up. And like that's how I was doing it. And it worked well for me. So that's all I can say. Because like I was almost top on sit-ups. I think it was close. Like I was either second or third. Every time we did 2 minute sit-ups, I was always like second or third on sit-ups. Like that was like the one thing I was gonna be able to beat everybody at. Like I may not be able to run, I may not be able to do push-ups, but you motherfuckers are not beating me in motherfucking sit-ups. That was the one thing I took pride in because that's the one thing I could do. Like oh man. And like most people couldn't wrap their heads around it. It's like, dude, how are you so efficient at this, but you can't do anything else? I'm like, that's how it is sometimes, man. Sometimes it's the technique issue. Sometimes it's just medically, I can just use certain things are easier to do than others when you have like a medical limitation when it comes to physical limitations. And it's just that's just how it is. I couldn't figure it out, so I was like, I don't know. I did try to help people like figure like see if like the way I was doing would help them do more sit ups. I think one or two guys improved doing it the way I told them to do it versus the way they were doing it, and which is good because I want to help people out. That's why I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, why? What's holding them back? Like, there's no reason they should be struggling like this when sit ups are so fucking easy and natural to me. Like, but what is this shit? But yeah, I'm gonna go and get ready to go shopping and shit, because I need to stock up on like Monster and crap like that. And I just want to consolidate like a whole like basic training video. And I kind of was originally just gonna do it like I don't even know what I was gonna do for the backdrop. I was like, fuck it, whatever. I'll just get on EQ because I'm not really gonna do all that much because I'm kind of bored of progressing right now and whatnot. I'll just run around in circles while I talk, and then that'll be the video. All right, peace. And my voice is getting kind of hoarse because I usually don't talk that long straight. Yeah, peace, 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 peace.